Hi, how are you? You remember a few years ago, a lot of liberals were telling people Sarah Palin is not functionally equipped to be a vice president or a president, despite the number of people who came out to see her, despite the number of people who spoke on behalf of her. I'd like to remind Monica Crowley that she once, I believe, on the McLaughlin show said, well, you know, Sarah's, and I'm paraphrasing, Sarah's nickname in high school is Barracuda, and I'm telling you, she's got the goods. What does that mean? It means nothing. That she's fierce? Stop. So we kept telling you over and over again, she just doesn't have the goods. And you kept saying, oh, that's because you hate America, or whatever other baloney you were peddling. And then came Steve King, one of the 2 or 3 most ridiculous human beings in all of the entire Congress. This man from Indiana, and excuse me, no disrespect to Indiana, from Indiana, who said that kids who cross the border from south of the border here in the United States turn out to be drug mules, and you can tell because they got calves the size of cantaloupes. So this insensitive lout decided to have a conference and call this conference the Cantaloupe Conference. And in it he had people who, and I want to say this with all clarity, will never be president of the United States. Never be president. Let me think, am I right? No. Let me start with Mike Huckabee. Never, ever will he be president. Let me go on to Donald Trump. Never, ever will be president. Never. Ben Carson. Never. Ben Carson won't get the black vote. In case you don't know, he's black. He won't get 5% of the black vote. At all. Rand Paul? No. Stop it. Just stop it. Jeb Bush? You know, you got your big brother hanging over you, pal. Hard to escape that name. You know, it really is. You'd be better off if you were a woman. You really would. Like Hillary Clinton, see. She's not blood. She's his wife. She's Bill Clinton's wife. She's not blood. Big difference. See. Big difference. There's a bloodline thing with you guys. I mean, plus, I think you're related to King George III or some other crap like that. Anyway, then Sarah Palin gets up at this conference, and her teleprompter went kablooey. And everybody was saying, well, that's the reason she sounded nuts. But that's not a good excuse, because when she gave her acceptance speech at the Republican convention in 2008, her teleprompter broke, and she hit that bad boy out of the park. At this one, she sounded like someone who was given the task of making sentences with words in the sentences that had no agreement of any kind. And now she's being written off. So I want everybody on the right who is telling us Sarah Palin's great. She's not. Okay? She's not great. She's not wonderful. She's pretty. She's pretty. You know. And she's got a great sense of humor. You know, she was talking about her husband, Todd. And Todd, she said, Todd's got the rifle, I've got the rack. Get it? Get it? Because she's got some of these. Okay. So that leaves Jeb Bush, there's Chris Christie, and everybody's favorite, evidently, Mitt Romney. The Republican Party's Adlai Stevenson, Mitt Romney. Listen, remember last time, this is Mitt talking, remember last time I told you guys that, you know, poor people suck, they were just banging off the public teat, you know, that they were, you know, just lazy good-for-nothings? I was kidding. I didn't mean it. I really, you know, but see, don't tell me that she can beat any of them, because I'm the guy who said when she was 35 points ahead of everybody in the Democratic primaries, or Democratic polling, I should say, I was going to say, oh, she's like a tidal wave, get out of her way or drown, and she lost. So here's my advice to Hillary Clinton, by the way, okay? Hire a campaign manager. If you're going to run, hire a campaign manager. Do that, okay? Hire a campaign manager. Why? Because last time, I think the guy who ran your campaign was a pollster, a statistician. I interviewed this guy. No, he doesn't inspire people. Your campaign manager also has to inspire people. They want to work tirelessly for this person. No, absolutely not. By the way, when I interviewed him, he said, or his advanced people said, he won't talk about the election. Well, why am I having you on? Because you're a good pool shot? And by the way, Mrs. Clinton, Secretary Clinton, who I've interviewed twice, and she was really nice both times and has a nice sense of humor. You're from the Midwest, Chicago kind of area. Don't say you're a Yankee fan, and don't try to talk like a black woman, and just be you. A really, really smart person who has the great, the attitude you have the attitude of a great comedian, which is, and I got this from my friend Frank Santarelli. He said, a great comedian has to not care. What that means is you actually do care, but your attitude is, listen, these are my jokes, and I hope you like them, but if you don't, I'm not committing suicide. And that has to be your attitude, Secretary Clinton. Listen, I really want to be president. I think I can do great things, but don't try to rattle me. Okay? You did everything but call my husband the son of God. Just don't try to rattle me, of all people. Okay? It's ridiculous. You should be ashamed. Ashamed. And anything that comes your way, anything, just handle it. I really don't want to talk about that right now. I will, not now. Take care. Boom! Anything. What are they going to do? Pout? Stomp their feet? This is free advice. You should take it. I'm Sam Greenfield, and I'm going to be back and talk some more. Bye.